What if you could find a second home in one of Asia's most dynamic countries? Join me as I share my 1-month adventure exploring Malaysia and all it has to offer. Hey everyone, this video is part of my journey to find a second home in Asia, and Malaysia has been one of the key places I've been exploring for the past month. Most of my stay has been in Mont Kiara, a popular expat area in Kuala Lumpur. Today I'm going to recap my highlights and thoughts from my stay here and whether Malaysia is a place I see myself settling into long term. So let's dive right in. I spent about 3 weeks living in Mont Kiara, and honestly, it's been an ideal place. You can see a mix of international residents and locals. Plus, I rented a motorbike to explore more of Kuala Lumpur. Trust me, having your own transportation in this city is important, as walking outside the city center isn't advisable. The public transport is okay, but if you really want to get out, and the city having transportation makes it easier to get around, I got the chance to visit some iconic spots in Kuala Lumpur. First off, the National Mosque. It's a unique piece of architecture and represents the religious and cultural diversity here in Malaysia. I also spent some time in Chinatown, which is an absolute must visit if you're in KL. From the food to the shopping, it's busy and full of sights and sounds. You can find local street food alongside shops selling all sorts of goods. When it comes to nightlife, I noticed that the vibe changes depending on where you go. The clubs with a majority Chinese crowd seem to have a much better atmosphere in my opinion. More lively and fun. I had some memorable nights out and met some really cool people along the way. Of course, I couldn't stay in the city all the time. One of my favorite day trips was to Kuala Selangor. The nature there is stunning, especially if you're into scenic views. It's a bit more relaxed compared to the city, and you can really appreciate Malaysia's natural beauty. I also went to SkyWorlds theme park. Now, while I did have fun, half the park was closed, which was kind of a letdown. Still, the scenic location and the rides I did try made it worth the trip. But yeah, it could have been better. And I also took a trip to Malacca. This city is just packed with history. The architecture is beautiful, and the old streets make you feel like you've stepped back in time. The food there was also a huge highlight. If you're into history or like Malaysian food, this place is perfect. The real highlight of my trip was Tioman Island. Let me just say, if you ever have the chance, you need to go. I spent my birthday there, and to make it even more special, I got certified as an advanced open water diver. This certification allows me to dive deeper, explore shipwrecks, and dive at night. During the dives, I saw some incredible marine life. Fish, turtles, sharks, stingrays, crabs, eels, you name it, I saw it. It was a surreal experience, and I couldn't have asked for a better birthday. Honestly, this was one of the best birthday activities I've ever done. As my month in Malaysia was winding down, I moved closer to KL Sentral, hoping to catch the Merdeka Independence Day celebration. Unfortunately, some of the events were canceled, which was a bit disappointing. But I still managed to take in some local activities, and got a feel for the city's patriotism. It was a nice way to end my time in Kuala Lumpur. So, after spending a full month in Malaysia, what are my thoughts? Overall, I love it. The food, the culture, the friendly people, the beaches, it's all there. But, like every place, there are some downsides too. Traffic can be brutal at times, and while Malaysian people do mix in some areas, it seems like a very segregated society. People tend to stick with their own kind, and it's not a violent or aggressive type of segregation. But I could imagine there are problems under the surface that a long-term resident may be more aware of. But I made some great friends and connections while I was here. Malaysia is definitely a place I will return to. There's still so much more to see and experience. If you've enjoyed following along, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more travel content and updates. I'd love to hear your thoughts or any tips you have about Malaysia, so feel free to drop them in the comments. Stay tuned for more travel updates and adventures. See you next time.